inside on Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row. We are inside Wise Pies Arena. New Mexico has a 76-57 win over Northern Iowa. It is time for our Delta Dental Coaches' Comments, brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. We're bringing in Lobo men's basketball coach Craig Neal. And Coach Neal, I'm going to start with defense. I mean, this team scores 79 points per game, and they shoot it, 43% from three. And you did everything that you wanted to going into this. You wanted to guard the three, and I thought the defense was fantastic.
Well, yeah, I do. I think we gave them some shots that they usually hit. I think they missed some shots, but it's hard to shoot in here, and it's a different deal. But I think the key was when we decided to go zone, and we went with zone the first possession, and it kind of caught them off guard. And the reason why we did that is Wes Waspin, he does so much off the dribble and creates so many easy shots for their shooters. And then once you do a zone and kind of take him out of that role, and they got to get their own shot or create their own shot, that's why we're able to turn them over 15 times. And you're not going to turn over a team like that. And I think the biggest thing, guys, that we're getting better at and we're maturing is that we can play different guys in the zone, we can play different guys in the man, and we can do some things on the pick and roll, switching, transitions getting better. But I think all in all, one thing that we don't talk about enough is we didn't foul them. We didn't put them on the line. You know, they got 7 free throws at the end of, after a certain amount of time, but I don't know what the total free throw was, but I think they had 12 free throws. And I think with a team like that, their jump shooting team, and you don't let Waspin, he shoots, I think he shot 4 free throws. And he usually creates free throws from people, but, that was something that we thought about, and you just, you don't turn them over, you can't keep them off the line, and they're going to shoot 40% from three, and all 3 things that we were worried about we were able to control.
And Coach, I've just talked about this earlier. I would have never guessed you to come out in a 2-3 zone against a jump shooting team that shoots 43% from the three. I think Coach, UNI's coach was thrown off guard. He was like, well, wait a minute. I would suspect that they would have come out and played man-to-man against us, but it seemed to work. I mean, you guys were pinching inside. I think Waspin was able to get in a couple of penetrations to the basket, but other than that, that zone was awesome.
Well, I think the biggest thing, Hunter, that we've been working on, and when we were at Iowa, we always wanted to zone them, we just never did. And because they always execute, they just got counters and everything. And I just told myself, and Chris and I talked about it, and I just said, we're not going to do it tonight. We're going to play zone, and it's probably the 3rd time we've ever done it since we've been here. And one of them was George Mason, and I think another one was UNLV one year. But, we did San Diego State one time in the tournament. But, it's one of those things you take a gamble on as a coach, and you get lucky. And I think the one thing that we can really do, Hunter, and we've talked about this, and Robert, and Hunter knows as a player, we can really close out on shooters if we get our hands up. Yeah. And we went through a spell with 5 or 6 games early in the year where we were going down, and we're getting there, but our hands are down. And if you don't have high hands against shooting teams, but we're so long and we're athletic, and our guys, when the ball's in the air, they can get there and travel on the catch. They just got to have high hands, and let's make them put it on the floor and see what they can do. But, our guys are getting better. They're fun to coach. They're fun to watch. And I just didn't think we were going to be as fortunate to win like we did tonight.
At the end of the first half, I thought just a critical sequence there. It's a tie basketball game. You get a 3, and then you go 2 for 1 the next possession. Elijah hits the corner 3, and then he hits the terrific pull-up jumper at the horn. I think it was an Anthony Mathis 3. Then Elijah makes the last 2 buckets. And
to be honest with you, it was 2 throw-aheads. And, the one Elijah hit, they didn't even know who they were guarding or who was in the game, and Cullen got the ball on the inbounds and threw it all the way down the floor, and Elijah buried it, then Anthony hit his, and then we got on a little run. And, when we played downhill and we're able to do some things like that, then we had some unusual lineups and weird lineups in the night, but I just thought I had to do that and make some different. I made some decisions that aren't always that people don't understand, but I did it and kind of went against the grain, and sometimes coaches don't make those, but I just decided I wanted to do it, and we did it, and it worked out, and we played at a high level.
Well, offensively, trying to get the ball inside of Tim Williams, you and I had a plan to double team him, and of course he had 3 turnovers, but once he got used to the timing of that second player coming to him, either not coming to him fast enough or coming to him, he was able to get rid of it And I think he got comfortable on the block.
Right.
And I saw a couple of times where you called the play, get it inside to Tim, and it worked.
Well, what happened was, Hunter, we just made a decision that when O got in foul trouble and Joe gave us okay minutes the first half, gave us some great minutes the second half, and we had to get Tim out of the game, we put 4 guards in, and it's hard to double when you got 4 of them.
That was one of the lineups that you were talking about. When Joe Furstinger was your big and you had 4 guards out there with him.
No, when I had Tim Williams in the game and I had 4 guards with Tim Williams, we were able to throw the ball to Tim and they couldn't trap because they got Sam. We had Sam on the other end of the floor and 3 shooters around him, so they can't trap. If they leave Sam, it's going to be a dunk, and he's active, and O just couldn't get to the spots quick enough when they trapped him, and Tim missed him a couple times early, but that's part of it. But when we went 4 guards, that gave him a hard time because they didn't know where the double from, because they had to match up with us.
Yeah.
And when they went 4 guards, they couldn't decide who was going to be the trap guy. When we were big, they knew that they were going to trap big. And then when we made that adjustment to go to 4 guards, they didn't know who to send.
Yeah. In that sequence there as well, before Tim got back on the floor, Joe was the only big out there for
Joe
scored 5 points.
Yeah, Joe was the only big in there, but we really took advantage when we were 4 guards with Tim on the block, and we just went left side and dribbled down through it to him. I mean, when Joe was in the game, we really weren't trying to throw it to Joe. We were just trying to get some triangle action and get some movement, so it was just one of those things, but we were very fortunate.
Yeah, Tim got comfortable. I mean, once he got the ball down low.
He's playing at a high level. I mean, he's a low post scorer, and he just gets things done, and team is doing really well. We just got to continue. We got a tough one on Wednesday, so we'll see what happens then.
Elijah with just an enormous game tonight, especially when Cullen had a tough night shooting the ball.
Right. Yeah, he can score the ball for us, and, he's just not a shooter, and I've told everybody that since we recruited him. So, we're going to have tough nights, but, Cullen struggled, but, I played other people, and I'll do that when people struggle, and I'm gonna win games, and, he just didn't shoot well. He had 5 assists, hadn't turned it over. I don't think he's turned it over much since the first few games, so he's maturing in that level, and sometimes he's not going to shoot it well.
Jordan Hunter's minutes were big, too.
Yeah, and all along I always knew Jordan could do that. And he's gonna start doing more and more of that and be our backup point guard, and that's why I recruited him.
He looks comfortable out there too.
He's good. Yeah. It's just that, and Hunter, this. It's like I did with Dede 2 years ago when we went 27-7. We had a really good team. I didn't start Dede till the San Jose game because Dede wasn't ready. Jordan's ready now. Jordan, I'm never gonna put a kid out there when they're going to be in a bad spot. And yeah, was maybe ready in his mind, but every kid that comes here is ready in their own mind. But I'm just proud that he trusted me enough, and that's what it says about the character of our kids. And he's got a great family. They trusted me with him, and he could have went a lot of places, but I think he trusted me in what I was telling him, and it's coming, and it's getting close.
Were you proud of that sequence that Sam had at the start? I remember what you said about Sam before the game. And
I said that in the press conference.
He got that second foul, and he had to come out early.
I said that in the press conference. It was good to see Sam play the way he's capable of playing. He's on the offensive board. He's on the defensive boards. He makes 2 or 3 nice plays. Then he gets in foul trouble. Then he comes back in and gets another cheap foul on a cut here. We got to take him back out. He's got to sit some more. Then we tried to go to him on a block a couple times, and he got so excited because he wanted to make something happen, and he ended up turning it over. But, I like to see his aggressiveness and the way he's playing.
Thank you so much. I know you've got a huge one coming up on Wednesday against New Mexico State.
Yeah, we got a big one. So, I told the guys their school's over with. Hopefully we did well in finals, and then now they're just kind of student athletes for a month, and then they'll start school in January. But it'll be time for us to get better and work on it, show some guys some tape and do some things, and then it's like I told him. I said you can't stay undefeated at home if you don't take care of this one. And I was a little bit worried about this one, but I think our guys played at a high level.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Level men's basketball coach Craig Neal, your Delta Dental coach's comments brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. Almost 400,000 New Mexicans covered by Delta Dental plans. For more information, log on to deltadentalnm.com.